Despite making a U-turn to allow political party agents to monitor the ongoing transfer of votes, the Electoral Commission insists nobody has a right or authority to prevent a voter from transferring his or her votes, although the EC explains that it took the decision to take care of the scuffles and chaos at the transfer stations. Political parties have opposed the decision, citing lack of transparency on the part of the EC. Deputy Commissioner in charge of operations, Samuel Tete, is warning the EC may reverse this decision if it is abused.
Political party agents do not have any right or authority under the law to prevent a voter who wants to transfer his or her vote under Regulation 22 of CI 127. The political parties are well aware that one can object to a voter's eligibility on the grounds of residency during the voter's exhibition exercise and not during the transfer of votes exercise. The Commission finds the blatant interference with this process by the agents of the MPP and the NDC unacceptable. However, following internal discussions and in consideration of the concerns of some stakeholders, the Commission has decided to revert to its decision at IPAC. The Commission has directed its officers at the districts to allow agents of political parties to observe the transfer of votes exercise. The Commission will not hesitate to request the withdrawal of agents who disrupt the transfer process.
The National Democratic Congress is meanwhile asking the Electoral Commission to be more transparent in processes leading to the general elections this year. Deputy General Secretary of the NDC, Mustafa Gbande, tells Joy News, although the EC's latest position on the vote transfer is welcoming, it must endeavor to be transparent going forward.
The EC have not done anything extraordinary. What is appropriate under the circumstance of the exercise to allow for more transparency that will end into a credible exercise is what the NDC advocated for. The EC knew that as we speak, this is the first time in the history of our country where we are doing registration. And again, at the same time, we have issues of missing equipment of the Electoral Commission. So therefore, it is automatic that mistrust will increase. If you want to test the hypocrisy of the MPP, tomorrow you will see whether they will send their agents there or they will not.
So is the Electoral Commission bowing to pressure, and how does this affect its independence? Director of Electoral Services, Dr. Serebour, has been reacting to this.
Yeah, as I was telling you, before the start of the transfer, we had a meeting with the political parties, and they requested that we should allow them to send agents to observe the exercise. We know as principles of the Commission, and one of the cardinal principles is transparency and also accountability. So we think that we have nothing to hide. So the presence of the parties will rather add to the transparency. So we give them the right to send the people there. But when they went there, we read that the parties were getting a lot of issues. Everything that the Electoral Commission does is backed by law. So we are expecting that if you have any issue, allow the law to work. So now that we read that the offices were becoming the battleground, then we had no option but to tell them that they should leave. So they left. We had another meeting on Monday, and the request was still there that they would think they should allow them to be there. So the Commission told them that we were going to have a look at it and ponder over it. Then after further reflection, we think that their presence will help in ensuring that people accept whatever comes up, and it also add to the transparency aspect. So we told them that they should come back, but the condition is that anybody who comes there to misbehave will be taken away from the place.
Okay. So now what will be the expectation? Are they to monitor to challenge immediately, or what ground rules are you setting for that?
There is no criteria for challenging. So you only observe. If somebody comes and you think you can inform our officer that this one you think, but not in a variant way. If the person insists, we'll go ahead and interview the person based on the conviction of the return officer. The person will be accepted or rejected.
So
you can't challenge. Now the law is that if the transfer is done and you have grievances or you have suspicion that somebody didn't qualify you there, then you will do the exhibition. Then you go and object to that name in that register that the person is not a resident there. Then the procedure is that there's a registration review officer who is a magistrate who will meet the two parties. Each of them will tell the story. Then the DRO would give a decision.
So which means that the parties don't have any power to stop anyone who's carrying out?
Not at all. Not at all.
Is that really
not at all. They don't have any power. Even registration, they don't have power. The only thing that they say they can challenge. But here they don't have any power to challenge. What they can do that take records of whatever their grievances are. Then during the exhibition, they can object to their names. The same as having objected to their names and challenge their names, and the procedure will be done such a way that the officer, this registration review officer, who is a magistrate, will now adjudicate on the case, and his decision will be binding on the commission. But they have no power to challenge anybody applying.
Based on that, the opposition NDC says they still have a challenge. They feel that there's more room for improvement in terms of improving your transparency. They feel that you lack transparency in all of the processes leading to the 2024 general elections. How do you respond to that?
In each of the activities we are doing, they are part of it. Registration, they were there as agent. When the challenges came and the review committee was sitting, they were part of the committee that sat on it and then they're adjudicating. Right now we have formed the adjudication review committee, which will look at the suspected multiple, and they are part of it. So in everything that we are doing, they are part of it. So I don't know how they want to explain the transparency when they are part of the system. So we have nothing to hide. That's why in everything we include all the political parties.
I want us to wrap up by talking about what's next for the Electoral Commission after this phase of the transfer of votes. What would happen? What's your expectation on the political parties? And what do you also say to the concerns, for instance, by the Coalition of Domestic Election Observers, who have earlier raised some concerns about this transfer process?
I don't know. What I know is that they are rather supporting our stand that we should not allow the party agents to be there. Other than that, I've not heard of any other view. Then with respect to what is ahead of it after this, from this we'll go to the compilation of the special voting for the media, the security services and the commission. Then we'll do exhibition. Then nomination will follow in September. Then we'll prepare for the election.
Is there anything special about the nomination process? Anything changing?
Nothing has changed. That whoever wants to contest the presidential one will have to deposit 10,000. The presidential, that's 100,000. As was done in 2020. We are not changing anything.
What room do you have for political parties which licenses were revoked? Can they still present candidates?
No, you cannot present anybody in the name of the party because that party doesn't exist.
So the option is?
The option is that there are no parties by those names, 11 parties. They don't have any name. So it's like no party existing.
We've seen some new faces come on board, the New Force and also Movement for Change. Have these people registered with the EC? And if they feel they're candidates, will you accept their nomination?
To the best of my knowledge, we have not certified any party since 2020. So that's why. But there are a lot of applications that are being processed. But for now, since 2020, we have not certified any political party.
Dr. Kweku, any message to Ghanaians who are watching us?
What I would tell them is that election is based on law. So everything that anybody wants to do should look at what the law is saying and apply the law. We shouldn't use our brute force to force people to do or not to do whatever the law is allowing. We should go with a procedure. If you have any challenge, there's a procedure that you can challenge or object to the person's inclusion or whatever. So let's respect the law and apply the law.